I ain't even gonna lie, I left the theater feeling like I could take somebody out, okay? Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. You are watching Watch This TV, where I discuss film, TV reviews, and also screenwriting tips for new writers. So I just left the theater from watching The Woman King, and if you want to know my thoughts, my opinions on The Woman King, stay tuned. Straight out the theater, I'm not gonna lie, you know how when people say you need to be cognitive of the things you listen to and the things that you watch, because it does affect your mood. And I ain't even gonna lie, I left the theater feeling like I could take somebody out, okay? Because the fight sequences in this film were really good. I know that there was a lot of pushback about the storyline because of course Hollywood. So is every single thing about this film accurate? No. Was this a very interesting film? Yes. So the premise, okay, first of all, we have a new king. I believe his name was King Gazo. I might be butchering the names, but it was just like a lot of names, a lot of things going on. So new king has been put on the throne. He is a bit more traditional than most, so you know, he wants to move and operate in a different lane, a different kind of way, back to traditional values. So this is what is being told in the film. As far as that, no, I'm not sure if that was actually historically true as well. So the Dahomey Amazons, which were the women called Agoji, was the name of the Dahomey women that were warriors. So of course these women are trained, and here we see, no spoilers, but you know, we kind of get the idea of how, you know, fearless and how tough these women are fully in battle. And then we have also a young woman who has been a bit outcast from her family because she's finding that she doesn't want to kind of conform to the daily duties of a young woman being married off. And honestly, when I saw who she was going to possibly be married off to and everything that was happening, I was like, girl, you did the right thing. So of course she was outcast, and she was forced by her father to be given to the Agoji warriors because he couldn't sell her, he couldn't be able to get her to be a wife, which I thought was interesting, because I thought that usually when a woman is married off, I thought, well, maybe that's, they pay for the, I don't know, that's just a tradition that I don't. So yeah, so usually I think the husband would provide money to the father, and then she would be married off. But that was something that she wasn't interested in, so her dad forced her to be part of the Agoji warriors, and he didn't know that that was something that she actually wanted to do. So now we kind of get an understanding of what is going on, what is this kind of, this new battle that they're going through. This is all for the film, and we are understanding that, I believe Viola Davis' character name was Nasika, or Nasika. I believe that's her name. Forgive me if that wasn't her name. But Viola Davis' character, she is coming to the understanding that, yes, we have sold slaves off in the past. This is all in the movie. I don't know if this was accurate, but she's saying eventually the Europeans are going to get greedy, and they're not going to find a need for us. So we need to stop doing this and gain the upper hand in this, because this is only going to in the long run also hurt us, because it's going to come a time where they're going to want to sell us. Now that's, in a perfect world, that would be lovely if that was true, but from my understanding, I'm almost certain that they really benefited from selling slaves as well, which is a known fact, that how Africans were sold into slavery was because other Africans sold other Africans into slaves that were part of different tribes. So in America, we have, you know, we have classism, and I think that kind of translates more to Africa with tribalism. So it's kind of like the same thing, but class, I guess, is still it still had, well, race, yeah, it's still like classism, but tribalism is like a form of, because you are a part of this different tribe, I don't want to be considered, like, I don't see you as being on my level. Like the tribalism, and I feel like classism is in a similar scale. It's just that it's in one, like, this is what, they're all black, so it's like the same thing what we would deal with in America, where it's like, you're black, I'm black, but if I look down upon you, or if I don't see you as an equal, then that usually would pertain to like the type of class I am, or what I'm wearing, or what type of education I have, things in that. So that kind of goes toe to toe when it comes to like tribalism and then classism, when you're dealing with the same ethnic background. So I feel like that is like something that we both deal with in the same scheme. But yeah, other than that, strictly about the movie, this movie was very interesting. It was very, I would have to say, the fighting sequence, this movie was actually very well done. Besides the actual factual information, I feel like the storyline, in the sense of like how the story was told, and just like the different plot twists that we kind of, surprise twist that we kind of found out about, was very good. Of course, the fight sequences, like I keep reiterating, like the fight sequences were amazing. I was like like the sound editing was phenomenal. I'm just like, oh, you can hear every bone, every sword, every slice, like you can feel it in the theater. It was beautifully shot. Gina Prince Brightwood was the director for this. I'm like, come on, Love and Basketball, you did a phenomenal. I don't ever recall seeing any type of action films or kind of like high intensity films like that from her. So I usually would see like romantic dramas and things like that from Gina Prince Brightwood. So this is very interesting. Like I said, Love and Basketball, The Secret Life of Bees, and so forth. Like we kind of get like dramatic films, romance, love in there, and we got a little bit of that in this film as well. One of the main characters, she also played on the Underground Railroad, that Barry Jenkins directed this film, and she was Cora in that film. Or on that, I'm sorry, that's a television series that's on Amazon. She played Cora in that TV series, and she did a really great job. That series was also very hard to watch, but it was beautifully shot and it was very accurate. I felt like there was no joke about slavery, and that was something that they actually talked about. When people would get captured, they would say it is better to kill yourself versus to go into slavery, because that's how bad it was. Like they would rather off themselves than actually, you know, go into slavery. So I feel like that was very accurate in bringing that up. Her name in the the film was Naui, but she also, I don't want to butcher her name, but she played in that series as well. She did a phenomenal job. I don't know how old she is. She looks like a baby. Let me see. She's 31 years old. She looks so good. She looks like she could be 18. Like really don't crack. But I think her name is Thuso. I believe her name is Thuso. She did a really great job in that film and in the series. Also, the other characters, like Uzuko, I believe that was her name. I loved her character. Like the supporting characters were amazing. They held their own. And honestly, I've never been somebody that was like really like, people will be in the comments talking about John Boyega and be like, oh, he looked like Denzel Washington. I never really saw it. Like, I don't see that. But I'm not gonna lie, in this film he actually was really handsome in this film. I'm not saying like he's not attractive, but I just never saw it for him. Like, I wasn't like, ooh, you can do something for me. But in this movie, he actually looked really handsome in this movie. So I was like, oh, that's like, I don't know if it was the hair, but he looked really good. And I was like, okay, this is a different look or whatever. But yeah, he looked good. He did very well. The accents were on point. Viola Davis did an amazing job with the accent. And then we just kind of see how the story unfolds. Like I said, we find out some twists, little plot twists and little things that kind of surprised the audience. I have to say, like, the audience was talking at the screen. We applauded once the movie was up. Yeah, this was a good movie. Was this movie entertaining? Would I watch this movie? I have A-list, so you know, with A-list, you just go to the movies anytime you want. You get 3 free movies a week. And would I pay to see this movie? I would pay to see this movie. Am I pressed over the fact that it isn't very accurate? I mean, we know how stories are kind of twisted, or things are hidden or not really brought to the forefront. And then we have these moments where they have this film and they're depicted in one way, and people are bringing awareness to the actual way things occurred during that era. So I just think overall, like, if you find out that it wasn't true and you want to learn more, I think, you know, do some research and find out the things that weren't all the way accurate. And if you just want to watch a good, you know, warrior movie with a lot of great action scenes and great fight sequences, you could do the same. Or if you want to support it, not support it, I mean, that's everyone's own you know, opinion to do that. But is this movie a good movie? It is a good movie. It was very entertaining. I was very highly entertained. There was even like pulling of the heartstrings where I was like, oh man, a little tear came down, because it was like really emotional with just a few plot points of things that happen, and just like, you know, deaths and things like that. So I do recommend taking a peek at this movie if you have the opportunity to do so. And then also do your research on the Dahomey Amazon, Agoji women, and then also the Dahomey tribe, because it's worth learning more about. But yeah, so that was how I felt about the film. I hope I kind of gave you a little bit. I didn't fully like go into depth, but yeah, it's just a great action film to kind of showcase something that occurred in the early 1800s, during like, I have to say, like the early stages of American chattel slavery, and we're seeing it on the beginning end of things. I don't want to say like the beginning ends, but like we're seeing how this was interpreted on the end from West Africa versus in America. So that was very interesting. Yeah, so that was my review. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you already saw the film The Woman King, or if you plan on seeing it. If you're interested in seeing it, let me know your thoughts down below. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Peace.